Good afternoon from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well. Sending loads of love to you as usual. I'm in the middle of nowhere at the moment, a deep West Country territory. I'm going to see someone down here, Channel 5 tomorrow. I'll keep you posted. Engagements all week. But today I was remembering some serious stuff from Stamford House. We're in the place at that time. We're talking 1981, and I was all alone, on my own, if you get what I mean. Now, during that time when I was there, Chris Eubank, we know already, was there. We also, I mentioned today, Neville Douglas, a real early bad man from Hackney. One of the Nash brothers, I think his name was Dean Nash. He was from Archway, right? Biggish kind of geezer for his age. Everybody else was kind of biggish at that time, apart from me. But he looked like a bit like Ray Winston, right? There was a geezer called Patrick Healy. There was also a geezer, one of my early co-defendants, Lennox Esprit. Remember, I was in for the stabbing, first of all, during that time, right? There was a gym officer, the gym man, his name was Mr. Simons. What he used to do, he used to, they wouldn't be able to do that today with today's lot. They would just be, you get in serious trouble. But he used to bring us in the gym. They couldn't even find PE kits. Lee Stevens was there as well, a geezer from North London, I think he was, small like me at that time. And he used to match people up with the boxing gloves and pick the, the size difference, make sure that everybody was around about the same size. He put me in there with Lee Stevens, and he said, "You've got a brilliant style," but me and Lee Stevens wouldn't throw a punch at each other. And he said, "Look, you're wasting my time." And he put me in the ring with a geezer called Colin George, and I was really showboating and looking good, but I didn't know what I was really doing. I got a couple of clumps, but I wasn't really hurt. But them lot started to want to jump in and say, "No, the weight difference." And Mr. Simons was saying, "Yeah, but he wouldn't fight back with someone his own weight." So I ain't got no choice, because you've got to choose whoever's in the class at that time. But then he put Eubank and Neville Douglas in there. But Eubank was bobbing and weaving and catching him quite a bit, where Neville Douglas was getting frustrated. Right at the end, when it was all finishing, when they were taking the gloves off, Neville Douglas threw a big left hand at him. Cheated, really, but he didn't really rock Chris Eubank. And then it carried on into the changing rooms. That's what it was like back then, right? I think Kenneth Erskine was there around about that time as well. More of that at some other stage. But it was much like that at Stamford House. You know that the shower rooms in the morning, I was the only one without no pubic hair at that time. All the other men, all the other boys were growing already. But I used to want to go in my underpants. But the showers were like the gas chambers, Gordon Bennett. It was like a war camp. And that Mr. Spiegels, he used to have glasses. One of the housemasters, he looked like a living Bacon Bonds, with dandruff all over his shirt, the belly over his trousers. And he used to stand there and watch us all in the showers at the corner of his eyes, right? And he used to go, "Yeah, sausages for breakfast," right? Dean Nash, one of the Nash brothers early on, I know he's a living bacon, he was, right? They used to always get me to chant his name. Go on, Yami, do that. Spiegel, Spiegel. And you go, right, no associations tonight, all back to your bedrooms and all that. It's a familiar theme with me with all those early institutional homes. But one of the Nash brothers, he just got there, and there was another big name there, a light-skinned geezer from West London, and he was like the daddy of the wing. He was much like Scum, them early institutions. And this other geezer was loud, but Dean Nash wasn't having none of it, right? They went into the recess, and Dean Nash weighed him in, and it got stopped. And he said, so he wants to go again, the other geezer that was losing. But the same thing happened. He was too heavy for you, if you get what I mean. But I was just reflecting today, there was something else that said, oh yeah, me and Lennox, that was a start as well, the football. Because we went to about 3-4 homes together, me and Lennox Esprit. And every home we went to for the football team, St Thomas More's Detention Centre, Ashford, it was always that. He used to always have to give the ball with the outside of his boot. I always learned early, you've got to set off early with your movement. If you're not fast, you're last. And I should always be quick out of the blocks. I always remember some great football matches from early them days. But Lennox always used to find me with the same through ball, and I always used to score. And all the gym staff used to say, right, you two can come off now. You'll be playing for the team. That was a familiar tale. One day Lennox might be coming on the show as well. What a life story he's got as well. But at Stamford House, yeah, Eubank was the man there. But Mr. Simons as well, if you think about it, you could never ever, I was thinking match up 10 of the early names against 10 of the young generation coming up now. And I think to myself, there's no way that you would have beaten us. We were all proficient in kind of fighting and physical strength and all that. I can say out of 10 youngsters today that I've seen along these years, there's only 2 or 3 of them that I say you could maybe hold your own with us, the old lot from that school. 100% everybody could do a one-on-one. But yeah, I was just reflecting. But I'm down here today. I'll be up later on. But just giving you some hindsight. All this stuff's going to be in my book, remember. Hopelessly Lost. Sending loads of love to you.